Right now, on To The Point. Men on an FBI terrorist watch list arrested. Neighbors in Granite Bay on edge.
When it is close to home, you do feel a little bit of more caution in what you do.
The wet weather has arrived. How much rain and snow we can expect in the forecast.
And later on the back roads, we head to Eureka to meet a woodworking wizard.
Thanks for joining us. This is To The Point. I'm Becca Haviger. Alex Bell has the night off. Tonight, people in an upscale Granite Bay neighborhood say they're scared. New video shows the arrest of two men on an FBI terrorist watch list. Our Jeannie Nguyen shows us the reason for the arrests and who these men are connected to.
It's just been a really nice, safe neighborhood. Can't complain.
It's one of the main reasons why Carrie Hartman has been living in Granite Bay for the past 25 years.
It's really just been a really peaceful life.
But the past few weeks have been anything but peaceful in Hartman's neighborhood.
You hear about people getting more broken into that you think twice about stuff you do.
Last Friday, the Placer County Sheriff's Office says two masked men were breaking into a home in Granite Bay. The security video caught the two suspects in the backyard of an occupied home, but as soon as deputies arrived, the two escaped. With a helicopter tracking their move, the two made their way into Sacramento County.
Two male subjects running northbound.
With the help of canine officers, they were arrested and charged with attempted burglary, felony evading, and conspiracy. On top of those charges, the FBI has connected them to a South American theft group. They are on a terrorist watch list for being involved in transnational organized crime.
Why they chose this area? I don't know.
Even with the sense of peace Hartman has felt in this neighborhood for so many years, these recent crimes have made her reconsider what she does to keep her and her family safe.
When it is close to home, you do feel a little bit of more caution in what you do and locking this and locking that.
Understanding how scary this might have been for her neighbors, Hartman says she's thankful no one was hurt and hopes it stays that way.
As I get older, it's like if you want it, you can have it. Just don't hurt us.
And Jeannie joins us now. This isn't the only crime this group has been linked to. What are investigators telling you?
Well, Becca, the Placer County Sheriff's Office says it has a total of 5 arrests related to this transnational theft operation. Now, all of their alleged crimes happened within this past year. The Sheriff's Office says about 20 burglaries within the county total more than $1 million in stolen property. They add they are investigating other crimes that could be linked to this group. And investigators say people from this group moved from all over the state with no home base.
That's unsettling for neighbors for sure. We'll stay on top of the story. Thank you, Jeannie. Turning to your weather now, this is a live look over downtown Sacramento. People are preparing for rain and thunderstorms. So let's get right over to meteorologist Carly Gomez with what to expect.
Well, we're already seeing those showers moving through most of the valley and along the coastline now. We've been seeing some thunderstorms as well, as a special weather statement has just expired around the San Francisco area. We saw it south of San Francisco as well as north near Santa Rosa, Marin County. But we're now watching a winter weather advisory. This is set to go into effect Saturday night into early Sunday morning, for some of those snow levels dropping to past level around 6,500 feet, slick roads out there, and we're expecting to see that snow start piling up at the highest elevations. But for tonight, we're seeing a lot of the showers in the valley beginning to break up. So after 8 p.m. or so, we'll see a small break in the clouds. You're looking here at Friday, 11 p.m. as you'll see that break and colder temperatures arriving. Most of the scattered showers sitting in those foothills there from Arnold toward Yuba City. And then finally into your Saturday, widespread rain and snow as well continues into Saturday lunchtime. In the afternoon hours, we could see some chances for some thunderstorms, and those thunderstorm chances could begin to move in as early as those mid-morning lunchtime hours. Snow levels again dropping out there. We'll talk more about how much snow we could see.
Carly, thank you. New tonight, due to bad weather, the opening night of the Imaginarium Holiday Light Festival at Cal Expo has been postponed. Now, the company says if you bought tickets for tonight, they'll give you a voucher to attend on another day. They do plan to open this Sunday, the 19th, if the weather is better. With storms rolling into Northern California, the city of Sacramento is clearing leaves. Roxanne Elias joins us now with the work underway.
Becca, it's been a race against the clock for city crews who collected as many leaves as possible. They started early this morning and, of course, will continue to collect piles like this one and dispose of them.
It's leaf season and the city of Sacramento has its claw out disposing of the debris. But with the rain on the way, other issues arise.
The rains are about to come, and that does tend to cause a lot more leaves to fall down, so it makes for a heavier leaf drop and also makes the material on the streets a lot heavier to collect.
It causes crews to move through the streets a little slower than usual. So to make the process quicker, they're requesting you to fill up your yard waste containers first. Also, keep leaves clear from storm drains and bike lanes.
We always want to remind people to try to keep their leaf piles nice and neat, and it's especially important to keep them out of the gutters because we get a lot of flooding, a lot of localized flooding in Sacramento. We'll send out people to go help clear those gutters, but we need residents and citizens to help us as well.
Organic waste can be put in with your leaves, but it has to be put in your bin. Crews are working methodically every day from early morning till the afternoon until January 29th.
We'd like to remind people just to please be patient with our claw operators and our people collecting our leaves, because those piles might sit in the street for a little while, but it takes them a while to get through the streets and to collect that material.
People can check that collection calendar at sacrecycle.org. Now, you are recommended to check it frequently because things could change daily depending on how many piles there are of leaves and also the weather. Becca, back to you in studio.
You can stay up to date with the latest weather conditions anytime, anywhere. Download the free ABC 10 app and be sure to turn on notifications. Just hours ago, the man arrested and accused of the deadly stabbing outside Golden One Center Tuesday appeared in court. 23-year-old Malik Wilson is accused of killing 22-year-old LaRon Wilson II. The court asked us not to show his face. Now, Wilson, no relation to the victim, did not enter a plea. He is also being held without bail. I spoke with the victim's mother and aunt yesterday. They say the victim and suspect knew each other when they were kids. They don't know exactly why their loved one was at DoCo Tuesday evening. They asked us not to show their faces out of security concerns since they don't know the killer's motive.
We are devastated at the way that he was murdered in front of the Golden One Center at a Christian event in front of everyone.
The suspect is due back in court on December 5th. 2 Eldorado County schools received bomb threats via email this morning. Law enforcement responded to Providence Christian School in Shingle Springs and Tahoe Prep Academy in South Lake Tahoe. They found nothing suspicious. An investigation is now underway to figure out who sent the threats. As the APEC conference wraps up in San Francisco, President Biden met with Mexico's leaders today. They pledged to work side by side to confront fentanyl trafficking into the U.S. and manage the growing number of migrants traveling north to the border. Mexico's president has also asked Biden to resume dialogue with Cuba and end U.S. sanctions. Coming up on To The Point, new images released by the Israeli military inside Gaza's largest hospital. Plus, a new federal investigation into colleges and schools over anti-Semitism, why some could lose funding. And later in the show, we hit the back roads to meet one of America's most respected woodworkers.
These ones are going to Piedmont. We just did wooden redwood gutter for Emily Dickinson's house in Massachusetts.
Meteorologist Carly Gomez joins us. Carly, is this wet weather going to impact some weekend plans?
It definitely will. I mean, if you have plans for your Saturday, it's going to be widespread rain across most of Northern California, and we're looking at snow in the Sierra, so you had plans to head up there. It's not necessarily conducive for that either. We're looking at low pressure offshore. This has been circulating for days. Finally, we're seeing it inch closer to the shoreline, bringing in those bands of rain for this valley spot, Central Valley, and up toward the Sierra now. As of this evening, we've been seeing some scattered showers moving through the valley, and the thunderstorms, heavier rain and downpours along the coastline from San Francisco up through Santa Rosa and Sonoma. A winter weather advisory is in effect on Saturday night, that's Saturday 4 p.m. until Sunday morning, where we are looking at some of the heavier snow falling down, and you're going to want to make plans for strong wind gusts as well. Winds will be picking up out of the southeast anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, and we'll see them strong as we start getting to the mid-morning hours from Stockton all the way up toward Oroville and into Yuba City, Marysville, up toward Redding. Now, the strongest winds for the Sierra kick in the overnight hours Saturday into Sunday morning, where we're seeing the storm system push through there and bringing heavy rain. Now, gusts also continue Sunday into Monday. Keep that in mind if you had plans outdoors or setting up those decorations. We get some patchy areas of cold air moving in overnight. Now, this is going to drop some of the snow levels as well, but also bring in cool air in the overnight hours. As we take a look at the heavy rain, it's, again, widespread throughout your Saturday. So any outdoor plans may actually just be delayed. You may just want to push everything to Sunday, to be honest, because this is going to be very patchy and heavy at times. Now, into the overnight hours, those heavy rains are going to turn to snowfall around 6,500 feet. It's the lowest elevation of snow right there, where we're going to see some of that piling up through Donner Pass. But rainfall totals could be anywhere from about a ½ inch to about an inch of rain expected. So anticipate that. And snow, we're going to talk about snow anywhere from 1 to 4 inches, but those peaks could see up to even a foot of snow. Getting to our 10-day forecast, we'll be looking at those temperatures in the mid-60s through next week.
Thank you, Carly. Next, why it might be cheaper to buy an electric vehicle next year. As fighting escalates between Israel and Hamas, Israeli defense forces say they have found Hamas tunnels under Gaza's largest hospital. They say there is evidence the militant group built an extensive underground network. M. Nguyen has the latest tonight as a humanitarian crisis grows.
Day 3 of Israeli troops scouring Gaza's largest hospital, which has quickly become a flashpoint in the conflict following Hamas's attack on Israel October 7th. The IDF releasing this video showing a tunnel shaft they say leads to a Hamas command post below the Al-Shifa hospital.
And this is where they choose to hide everything.
Hamas rejecting that notion, but the White House is backing Israel's claims, citing U.S. intelligence.
What we know, and based on information we have, as well as information that the Israelis have, is that this has been the practice of Hamas, to use these civilian infrastructure.
In central Israel, many mourning the loss of Corporal Noah Marciano, who the IDF says was abducted by Hamas a month ago and found lifeless near Al-Shifa hospital. She was discovered just hours after Israel says they found the body of another hostage, a 65-year-old grandmother also near there. As IDF troops push deeper into Gaza, they say they've successfully taken over and destroyed a major weapon production post of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. The IDF claiming those weapons were intended to attack Israeli civilians. As the humanitarian crisis grows more dire in Gaza, Israel has agreed to a U.S. request to allow 2 diesel tankers a day to enter to support water and sewer infrastructure.
I think every minute and every hour, the situation becomes far, far worse for the people of Gaza.
This as unsettling new satellite imagery shows thousands desperately trying to flee south along the evacuation corridor.
The White House says President Biden spoke with Qatar's leader about urgent efforts to release hostages held by Hamas. The 2 leaders also discussed the need for getting more humanitarian assistance into Gaza. There's new action tonight to confront hate speech on U.S. college campuses and on social media. The U.S. Department of Education says it's now investigating 7 colleges and schools, including Cornell, Columbia, and UPenn, where students have reported anti-Semitism or Islamophobia. It comes as anti-Semitism was amplified on TikTok this week as a decades-old letter written by Osama bin Laden explaining the 9/11 attacks went viral, with some users expressing sympathy with bin Laden's views.
Becoming like now a really harmful thing, and especially for the younger generation on social media. Nowadays, people are getting their information from TikTok, from social media. So we need to find a way to be able to get accurate information out there, to have messages at the bottom of these videos saying this is not a confirmed source.
TikTok is now removing videos referencing the bin Laden letter, saying, quote, "Content promoting this letter clearly violates our rules." As far as the investigation goes, at least 2 schools have said they are cooperating. The schools do risk losing federal funding depending on how they respond to the investigation's results. Congressman George Santos could be removed from office. The chairman of the House Ethics Committee filed a resolution to force a vote on expelling the Republican New York representative. The resolution was announced just 1 day after the Ethics Committee issued a report detailing evidence that Santos converted campaign donations to his own personal use, such as trips to Atlantic City and the Hamptons. He says he will not seek re-election. Right now, Las Vegas is revving up for their Formula One race. It's taking place in the city for the first time since 1982. The Strip is shut down for the weekend. It's now a 3.8-mile circuit. Drivers will race through iconic landmarks at speeds over 200 miles per hour. United Auto Workers have approved a new contract with General Motors. They are the first Detroit carmaker to get a ratified deal. Voting continues at Ford through early Saturday and Stellantis through Tuesday. This ends 6 weeks of targeted labor strikes. In your price points tonight, the federal government is now proposing new guidelines for getting tax credits for electric vehicles. Since the Inflation Reduction Act, the credit can mean up to $7,500 off of the cost of a new EV and $4,000 off of a used one. In the current setup, you have to wait until tax time to get that money back. But thanks to new guidelines from the Treasury Department, you might start to see that credit when you buy a car starting January 1st.
Before, you used to have to buy the car, paying the upfront price, and then later, months in the future, when you file your taxes, you would get a tax credit back. So now when you go to the dealer, you'll be able to take that tax credit right off the purchase price of the car.
Dealerships need to be registered with the IRS for you to get the tax credit, so experts recommend you call ahead to make sure they can accept the credit and that you're looking at an eligible EV. Every Friday, our John Bartel takes us on the back roads. Tonight, John takes us to Blue Ox Mill Works in Eureka to meet one of America's most respected woodworkers.
They just don't make them like they used to.
Out of this collection here, this is the oldest. This is 1868.
It's not that Eric Hollenbeck doesn't believe in modern equipment. It's just that he believes you should know how to use old equipment first.
If you can learn the basics, then jump into technology as far as you can take it.
Eric is the founder of Blue Ox Mill Works. You may recognize him from the TV show The Craftsman on Magnolia.
We take forgotten treasures, we can do this, and give them new life.
Eric is one of the most respected woodworkers in America because of his keen knowledge of pre-20th century craftsmanship.
You only show up at Blue Ox when nobody else can do it.
He's worked on some of the most historic buildings in the United States.
That came from Martha's Vineyard. Set her doors, these ones are going to Piedmont. We just did wooden redwood gutter for Emily Dickinson's house in Massachusetts.
But the work that is near and dear to his heart is upkeeping the Victorian-style buildings in his hometown of Eureka.
It would be Eagle House, the Carson Mansion, as we do all the restoration work on the Carson Mansion.
Eric got his start fixing rotten or weathered pieces on historic homes and businesses. The historic Carson Mansion is the most recognizable building that Eric has worked on, but there are so many more restoration projects in town.
In Eureka, a really unique town. We have 68% of our original structure still standing. Let me see. All right. Oh, nice.
On top of restoring America's historic buildings, Eric is teaching the next generation of woodworkers. Every year, he takes a group of youth and teaches them his craft. The program was even featured in a short documentary called The Ox.
And this is 3 years after Abraham Lincoln.
If you want to experience some of the restoration at Blue Ox Mill Works, you can take one of the daily tours through the shop. You may just learn something about the past that'll help you in the future.
Once you understand the roots of it, then take it and run with it. Go as far as you want.
From Blue Ox Mill Works in Eureka, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Well, now it's your turn. Got something in your town that would be a great road trip destination? Let John know all about it by texting your idea to 916-321-3310. Next, addressing the insurance crisis, we asked the state insurance commissioner what he's doing about it. That's right. Monday Night Football airs right here on ABC 10. Now, coming up after the game, a crisis is affecting homeowners and renters alike. I sat down with California's insurance commissioner as fire insurance for homes skyrockets in cost and becomes hard to find. I asked the commissioner what he's doing about it as people throughout the state grow increasingly desperate.
I don't know what I'll do if I can't afford the house. My payment is doubled and I'm not making any more money.
Coming up Monday night after football, why insurance companies say climate change, inflation, and state regulations are causing them to pull back from doing business in California, and what's being done to help homeowners. That story right here on ABC 10. Because of Monday Night Football, To The Point will be back on Tuesday. Have a great weekend and stay dry, whatever you end up doing, to enjoy yourself. Take care.
Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.